All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. It's been a couple of days since our last video. In the meantime, there's a couple things that happened. We switched to an electronic throttle body. I didn't know if I ended up putting that in my last video or not. If I don't have a video on that yet, I'll make one about it. And we actually drove the car up and down the road a little bit. We changed the transmission fluid, and everything looked okay. We refilled it, and we decided, might as well try to take the car up and down the road. And when we did, I hadn't messed with the tune at all, and I think I might have had some injector data wrong, and we had a backfire on our last drive up and down the road. And what happened was some carnage. So if any of you guys have an LS1 or an LS6, you kind of know what this is. It's the port that goes on the back of the intake here. It's not supposed to come out. It's supposed to be permanently fixed. And if you break it, like this one, pretty burnt up, you can't get a replacement from GM. I heard there was a couple of workarounds before. Some guys were 3D printing kind of ports similar. And then I heard of a couple of guys actually getting replacements, but I could not find one. And I called like 3 or 4 GM dealers. They said that you have to buy the whole intake together. So what I decided was to call my cousin who works in a machine shop, really good fabricator, and he made me up this plate. So what we're gonna do is we're going to put this plate in here, and as you can see, super nice fit, super snug and clean, and it blocks off the back. I got some really high 2-part epoxy that is that's high temp as well, so it's got good hold and it's high temp for what's going to be going on with the engine. So we're just going to end up epoxying this plug into the back of the intake and blocking it off for good. And then I'm going to pull vacuum for my brake booster from the front of the intake. I haven't done a ton of info or a ton of research on that yet to see if it's going to make something wrong, but I'm guessing all vacuum is going to be okay with that. I'm just going to run my vacuum on my brake booster line up to the front, try to make it clean. But that's what we're going to do now, is epoxy that in, and then we'll get back with you once it's set up or once the intake is in the car. All right, so we're back. We just took a short break. I literally just mixed some 2-part epoxy up, no big deal. Slathered it on there and pressed it in. I cleaned up everything that was, excess. There was a little bit of excess, but as you can see, super clean plate. If you want to zoom in on this, like it's just perfect pretty much. It just looks like an extension. I don't think that it could get much cleaner than that, in my opinion. Maybe someone has a different idea, but we're gonna let this set up overnight, and then tomorrow we'll come back and we'll see if we'll give it a little test. Maybe we'll try to tap it or hit it with a hammer or something. I don't know. And then we'll throw it in the car and see if we blow it out the back again with the tuning adjustments I've made. All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. It's been 24 hours, so I think this baby's cured up. Gave it the old hammer test, so I don't think that's coming out of there at all. I'm starting to get excited now. I'm gonna throw the intake back in and bolt it down, load up that tune that I kind of adjusted a little bit. We'll see if it works, we'll see if it doesn't work, and we'll show you guys a little bit of that once we get there. So we're gonna throw this on and then we'll get back with you. Okay, so we got the intake back on. I got the fuel line connected and a couple of other vacuum lines connected. Hopefully there's no leaks. We haven't tried yet. I did a TPS auto set for the Holly. I'm not sure if you have to do that every time you disconnect and reconnect or not. And I uploaded a tune that may or may not work. I messed with it a little bit. The injector data was a little different because these are decapped injectors. So I went in and I set it as a stock GM injector, and then I messed with the fuel rate. So hopefully it works. I primed the fuel pump a couple times, and we're gonna fire it over to see if it lives or if it doesn't. So there might be vacuum leaks. We haven't tried this yet, but here goes test one. Okay guys, so I let the battery charge for a second and I fired it up off camera, but now it'll run, and the worst of my fears have actually come to fruition. So I'll start it up for you and you can hear the knock. It was not the greatest condition motor when I got it, and then I think the backfire that I had really just took it over the top. So I'll at least get a video of the carnage. Hopefully it doesn't just completely puke its guts out here, but you can hear it a little bit. And then we'll be back and give you an update on what the next plan is. So if you couldn't tell there, if the audio wasn't good enough, there's a pretty bad rod knock. Like I said, we're gonna figure out what the next step is, and we'll go from there and hopefully get this baby running by, hopefully running the next couple weeks, hopefully by July 4th. I'm not an LS expert by any means, so if any of you guys wanna guess or diagnose what happened to this motor, what that noise was exactly, I thought it might be fun if you guys commented that below, and then maybe we'll tear down this motor later and we'll see exactly what the problem was. Maybe one of you guys has a guess of why it happened, but if you want to comment that below, I think that would be fun, and then we can just move on from there. But again, thank you guys for watching. God bless. See you later.